Welcome to ministrylive.org. My name is Ray Deck, and today we are talking about PowerPoint version 2007. If you're like me and you had a pretty extensive working knowledge of PowerPoint in version, an older version, 2003 or older, when you upgraded to 2007, what you found was a little intimidating. There are a lot of changes in the new 2007 version of PowerPoint, and it can be hard to find your way around. There are a lot of really common commands, just common things that I would do in PowerPoint that I knew like the back of my hand in version 2003 that then I could not find for the life of me in 2007. Well, you're in luck. If that's you, if you're in that kind of situation, I've done all the work. I've found all the commands, and I know where they all are now, and that's what this is about. I'm going to give you a tour of the new program, the new layout. One of the biggest, most obvious changes is in this section right here, where all of your toolbars used to be. All your toolbars are gone. No more toolbars in PowerPoint 2007. Well, there is one. We'll talk about it in a minute. But instead, what you see, this area is called the ribbon. And you can totally change what's on the ribbon based on these buttons up here, what tab you happen to be using. And the majority of your commands, I'd say probably 90% of the things that you want to do in PowerPoint are going to be on the ribbon somewhere. It's just a matter of finding it, because it's not in a drop-down menu like it used to be. The old PowerPoint, and actually all of Office versions 2003 and older, was really driven by a drop-down menu, and that's not the case anymore. It's tabs and this thing called the ribbon. And if I want to switch what's on the ribbon, I just move to a different tab there, and everything on the ribbon's just changed to insert commands because I'm on the insert tab. So everything from picture to graphs and charts and word art and all this stuff that I would insert into a presentation and put on a slide, that's all under this tab. And if I want to change the design, animation, slideshow, all the way down the line, all these tabs change what commands are on the ribbon based on what I'm actually doing in the presentation. And then if you can't find a command on the ribbon that you would expect to be there, if you would, like for example, if you are looking for a specific font command that is not on the ribbon right in front of you, look at this little button right here. And not all of these boxes have a button like this, but if certain commands would not fit on the ribbon, what they have done, what Microsoft has done, is they've put this little button in the corner, and that will bring up a dialog box. In this case, it's the fonts dialog box, and this is familiar to you, I'm sure. And some of the more obscure commands for font are going to be in this dialog box instead of directly on the ribbon. And again, it's still just 2 clicks away, so it's even easier to get to than in the older version of PowerPoint, but because you don't have to go through a drop-down menu. But if you don't know where to look, it can be kind of hard to find. One thing that took me a long time to find was all of the old file commands, like open and new and save as and those things. I couldn't find those for the life of me. I had no idea where to look because I didn't see a file tab, and I didn't see any of those commands on the ribbon anywhere, so I looked forever and couldn't find them. Well, all of those old commands are in the only remaining drop-down menu, and that is the Office button. And the Office button has replaced the File drop-down menu. There's File, as you remember it. Right next to it is the Recent Documents section. And this is a big improvement that PowerPoint has made, that Microsoft has made to PowerPoint. The old Recent Documents was kind of a joke. PowerPoint did not remember enough of my history to make it of any use to me. So anytime I wanted to open a PowerPoint presentation, I would just go find it in my documents and in sermons and subfolders and wherever else it was. I would just go search for it, find it that way. Not anymore. I don't do that anymore. I actually open PowerPoint, the program, and use the Recent Documents section because, one, PowerPoint remembers way more of your history, so that makes it a lot more useful. There is 9, 10, and 12 documents that PowerPoint has remembered me opening in the last 2 months or however long, and that is really helpful to have that many presentations here. And the other reason is I can these buttons over here, I can pin a document. So like this particular presentation, if I want this presentation, if I'm going to work on it some more, if I want it to always be right here, if I just press that button, it will pin that presentation in my recent documents section. So it will always be there until I unpin it. It will always be right there, and that's really helpful if there's something that you're going to be working on now to speak on later, a presentation you're going to deliver at a later point. You want to be sure you can always be right here until you take that pin away.
One of the other things that is improved in PowerPoint 07 is the mouse over preview is what we'll call it. We'll go here to the design tab, and this across the middle are the themes, different themes that you can use that come standard there. And as you can see, as I'm mousing over these different themes, it's giving me a preview of what my presentation would look like if I switched to that theme. And that's really useful because I want to be able to see it full size before I really make a decision about whether to use that theme or not. And seeing it full size like this, it gives me more information, and I can switch to that theme if I like it just with a simple one click, and there I've just switched to that theme. And I can switch back just that easily. So it's a lot easier to make big design decisions like that because of the mouse over preview. And mouse over preview is the same with colors and font types. If you mouse over a font type, you have a text highlighted, you mouse over a font type, it will do the same thing for you. One of the other things I want to show you here is text editing. Just got a whole lot easier. All your text editing commands are on the Home tab. You may have seen them earlier. They're right there. But one thing, really the rationale behind the majority of these changes that Microsoft has made is to make it easier to navigate, which is great once you learn where everything is. And for example, if I highlight text, I want to change the font of this text. If I highlight it and then I move up just a little bit, then this box appears, and this has a lot of the more common text editing commands on it, and I can switch the font there just that easily. And that makes, instead of, the alternative would be I have to scroll my mouse all the way up here, which, oh my, I don't know if I can take that. You know, it's a little bit funny when you think about it like that, but truthfully, it will save you a lot of time once you learn where everything is. The last thing I want to talk to you about is the Quick Access Toolbar, and that is this section right here. This is new in PowerPoint 07, and maybe you see yours up high, the same thing. Maybe you see it up higher. I just like mine a little lower, but maybe you see it up high next to the Office button. But basically, what this is just it's like a quick launch for the program itself, and you can put whatever command you want on the Quick Access Toolbar, and you can tell it to either put this toolbar above the ribbon or below the ribbon. This little button right here allows you to customize your Quick Access Toolbar, and you can show above the ribbon. There, I just moved the Quick Access Toolbar above the ribbon. Whoop, excuse me. Now I'm going to move it back below the ribbon where I like it, down here. Now, the other thing I can do is I can add commands to this Quick Launch Toolbar. You can find this More Commands button right there, and that'll open a dialog box that allows me to add commands from whichever one of the tabs that I'd like, or from popular commands, or from commands that aren't even on the ribbon. And I can add those just with one click to the Quick Access Toolbar. So, for example, I use a lot of pictures, so I've got the Insert Picture command on the Quick Launch Toolbar. So instead of switching to the Insert tab and then the Picture button, 1, 2, I just eliminated a click because it is right here all the time, and I can just go to there instead of switching tabs and then clicking on the ribbon and then inserting a picture. And it's easier to get around. It is much easier to get around once you learn your way around for the first time. I hope that this presentation has been helpful to you, and I hope you've learned something about PowerPoint 2007. If you have any questions, or if I didn't cover something that you have really been wondering about, or whatever, you just drop them in the comments box.
and I will be sure to respond to those questions. Thank you for visiting Ministry Live.